Alright, listen up. Let me break this down. Feel like you're 5 years old. If you get this, your whole world is going to shift immediately. So buckle up. You know how, when you get a gold star in school, you feel awesome, right? That gold star is like someone saying, hey, you did good. That's external validation. Your brain says, yes, please, give me more of that, and you feel better. You feel worthy because someone else told you so. The problem, your brain gets addicted to that outside validation. You start needing it, looking for it all the time, like an approval junkie. And guess what happens when you don't get it? You feel crap, right? You feel like you're not enough. That's a shitty place to live. But here's the kicker. What if I told you you could just skip the middleman and give yourself the damn gold star? What if you could stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm enough. I approve of me right now. Let me tell you something. When you start doing that, your brain gets hit with a dopamine blast. Boom, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. Those feel-good chemicals, they go wild in your system. It's like turning on the You're Awesome light switch in your brain. That's how you start rewiring yourself for self-empowerment. You're telling your brain, hey, I'm good with me. I don't need anyone else to tell me I'm okay. And guess what? The more you do this, the more your brain starts to believe it. You start to feel different, walk different, and talk different. You stop waiting for that external validation, like you're some sort of emotional beggar. You stand tall, you own your space, you become like a goddamn magnet for success, people, opportunities. Think about it like this. When you're solid with yourself, your energy changes. Ever met someone who just shines? They walk into a room and people are like, damn, who is that? That's because they're not looking for anyone to tell them they're great. They already know it. And let me tell you something else. People are drawn to that like a moth to a flame. They can feel that energy and they want a piece of it. People who approve of themselves don't just attract opportunities, they manifest them. Now here's the science behind it. Your brain loves a feedback loop. But that loop isn't always a positive one. If you're always relying on outside validation, that loop keeps you stuck in a cycle of needing more from others. But when you give yourself validation, that loop flips. You stop waiting for others to make you feel good. You make yourself feel good. This rewires your brain for confidence, self-love, and more importantly, for freedom. Now you might be thinking, but what about what people think of me? What if they judge me? Let me break that fear down. You're scared of rejection, right? Of looking like a narcissist, maybe. But here's the thing. When you approve of yourself, the opinions of others lose their power. They can think whatever the hell they want, but your opinion of yourself is the one that matters most. This is where we need to face the fact you've been giving away your power, so stop doing that. You're the one in charge here. It's like being a kid in a playground. When you play with confidence, people want to join in. When you're unsure and waiting for someone else's approval, you get left standing alone. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You're already great. So how do you start doing this? Easy. The next time you look in the mirror, say, I approve of me. No matter what you've done, no matter where you're at. You give yourself that little mental gold star, and over time, your brain starts to believe it. It's like planting a seed. At first, you may not feel it, but soon enough, that tree is growing and blossoming, and people start to notice. But here's the real kicker. The part most people miss. Why is it so important to do this? Because if you don't, you're stuck in a loop of seeking validation from others. And you'll always feel like you're chasing something. It's exhausting. It's like running a race that you never win. But once you own your own approval, you stop running. You walk at your own pace. You own your path. And you become magnetic. You want to know why this works? It's simple. Your energy is everything. People pick up on how you feel about yourself. If you're constantly needing someone else's approval, they can smell it. They sense your insecurity. But when you approve of yourself, you radiate confidence. People are drawn to that like a tractor beam. They want to be around you. They want to help you. They want to work with you. Opportunities flow. Let's talk about fear for a second. You might be afraid of getting rejected, ridiculed, or being judged. But here's the cold hard truth. You can't be afraid to live your life for the approval of others. If you live in fear of judgment, you'll never be free. And freedom is what happens when you say, fuck it, I'm enough. If you wait for someone else's validation, you'll be running around like a headless chicken for the rest of your life. This is where you need to understand the karma of not doing this. Every time you wait for someone else to tell you you're worthy, you're giving your power away. Every time you doubt yourself because someone doesn't get you, you're draining your own energy. It's exhausting, and guess what? The universe notices. If you're stuck in that loop of needing others' validation, the universe will keep throwing opportunities at you that don't work out. Why? Because you're not ready to receive them. You're still stuck in self-doubt. The moment you approve of yourself, the universe is like, oh, now you're ready, and bam, things start to shift. You start to attract what you need, not because you're begging for it, but because you deserve it. So let me ask you this. How does your life change if you believe this? It changes in ways you can't even imagine. The second you stop seeking approval from others and start approving of yourself, everything changes. You stop chasing people, you stop chasing success, and you start living in alignment. You start attracting the people and the opportunities that are aligned with your true self. No more forcing things. It's like switching gears from struggling uphill to cruising downhill. But let's face it, you've been stuck. Why? Because of those limiting beliefs. Maybe you were told growing up that you had to prove your worth to others. Maybe someone made you feel like you weren't good enough, unless they said so. That's bullshit. You've been carrying the baggage for way too long, and it's time to drop it. Let's talk about the patterns that drain you. You've been stuck in a loop of self-doubt, worrying about what others think, running on empty. It's time to interrupt those patterns. Start creating new ones. Start validating yourself. Every time you think, I need someone else's approval, interrupt that thought. Say, I don't need anyone's approval. I approve of me. So you want to create change. You want to lead others. Here's how. You start with your own approval. When you approve of yourself, others start to follow your lead. They want to know how you did it. They want what you've got. You've already done the work on yourself, and now you're going to help them see the power of self-approval. Now go do it. Approve of yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're worthy. You're fucking worthy. You always have been. And once you realise that, your whole world will open up.